knows nothing, can understand nothing. Plunge deeper into the darkness, and your heart will grow even stronger.
Good tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. This is episode number 59 of the Ansem Report podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm here always with my very lumberjack-looking, like Lumberjack had a baby with Dracula and spit out this beautiful man, Jason, my brother. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, he looks like Lumberjack Dracula right now, everybody. And let me tell you, if he wasn't my brother and I was into men, I'd be pretty hot to trot right now.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs. This ain't Pornhub, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway.
You thirsty fucks.
Yeah, you calm down out there. What a weird way to start the podcast. This week on the podcast, it's obviously a pretty slow news week overall. I mean, not slow for current news, but slow for Kingdom Hearts and video game news. We're gonna do a little reminding. We're gonna remind you a little bit of a DLC called Remind.
What?
Yeah, I know.
The
Crazy.
best DLC ever?
Some might say
Ever created?
Some. I actually saw a tweet today from our good friend HMK. Shout out to HMK, our good friend who we love dearly.
Yeah.
And he said,
Friend of the podcast.
Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind is some of his favorite DLC in recent memory. It's big praise. Big praise from our good friend HMK, who we love dearly. So we'll see. We need a topic to shoot.
I just want to talk about thankfulness, being thankful for all our amazing supporters, our friends, our family. You guys are the greatest. We couldn't do it without you.
Wow.
And honestly, like, it warms my heart. Especially, you know, I've been talking with the box, and I recently was just like looking through the DMs to like see if I missed anything. And I saw that one audio file that you guys had all made for us.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, I have that
I'm
saved
too
on
lucky.
my computer.
I'm too lucky.
I listen to it like 3 times a day.
I cry every time. But yeah, you guys are beautiful. Stay safe. We're very thankful for all of you.
Yes.
Also,
Stitch hype.
Stitch hype. Leave us a review on iTunes. Thank you.
Yes. We haven't gotten a review in a long time. At least a written review. And those are fun to read on air.
Yeah.
So if you listen to us through Apple, go and leave an Apple iTunes review. Let us know how we're doing, and we will read it on air, good or bad. Hopefully it's good, but if it's bad, we'll read it anyway, and then I'll get angry. And some of you
Triggered.
like me when I'm angry. I would say you won't like me when I'm angry, but some of you like me when I'm angry. So anytime I go off on a topic in the podcast, the day the podcast releases, that someone in Discord goes, "Ooh, Mike's mad," and they like it. I can tell they like it.
Yeah, everyone always reacts with like the Donald with a boner meme.
Do they? Is that what they react to? I thought it was just the Donald, like the Dolan duck.
Well, there's Dolan, but he's got a bit of a boner.
Well, there are 2 different emotes on our server. Speaking of our server, if you want to join our Discord server, you can go in the link in the description and join our Discord server.
Join for free.
And
Discord's free.
And hang out and talk with us and other like-minded peoples, including the Box, who we've already mentioned,
And see memes.
and Blue Kingdom, who's like a local celebrity.
And see me saying fuck Dobby.
Yeah, see Jason's thoughts on Harry Potter characters, including Dobby. Anyway, Jason, let's talk Remind. Let's remind you.
Remind.
Remind us of Remind. And actually, in order to talk Remind, we're going to go in a different order than the pod. We're going to shake things up a little bit.
Oh my God.
Because right now we're going to do the question of the week. Because this past week's question of the week, Jason, was let me know what your favorite part of Remind was. So we're going to get started with that.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about Remind in length.
Okay.
Coming up first to answer the question is Iron Sean. Shout out to Iron Sean, who wrote us an email last week that we read. So my favorite part of Remind has to be the actual Remind story DLC. I'm a slut for more KH content, and while I loved every part of it, I'm always desperate to continue the KH storyline.
Yep.
Gotta say, though, Sora and Yozora interacting is top-notch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's going to be Remind spoilers. At this point, Xboxers, if you haven't played it, I'm sorry, but you should have played it by now. It's been over a month.
Right.
Has it been over a month?
Yeah.
Yes, by the time this podcast drops, it'll be over a month.
Yeah.
Master of Masters Master, who always has brilliant things to say on these questions.
Absolute Fivehead.
Absolute Fivehead says, my favorite part of the Remind DLC would be Explorable Scala Ed Kayam. I wish there would have been more to do there, but something is better than nothing. I also really enjoyed the new young Xehanort and Master of Masters scene. I think that would have been a great intro scene for KH3. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that scene momentarily.
That would have made it so much more confusing, though, if it was the actual opening.
Yeah, knowing what we know now, it would be fine, but, like, in the front of the
Back
game.
then, yeah.
It would have been weird.
We're like, what the hell is going on?
Right. But when is that ever not the case?
Well, and then it'll be one of those things where, yeah. We're just so hype in general, too. That anything on the screen, what is that? What is that?
Yeah, that's true. Something I noticed when I played through Remind last night, and something I noticed was that the first, however long, it's like 25 to 35 minutes, is all cutscenes. The first cutscene is the replay of the ending where Sora decides he's going to go after Kairi. Then it plays... first it plays, Luke, Sword, and Xigbar, their conversation. Then it plays the ending. Again, not the ending, but like that part of the ending.
Yeah.
Then it's Master of Masters and young Xehanort talking.
Okay.
Then it's the long-ass 75 years later explanation screen with Master Xehanort, Sayax, and Xigbar discussing the members of the organization.
Oh, yeah, that part was kind of pointless.
Then it's Sora talking to Chirthi after he decides to go save Kairi in the final world, and Chirthi explains what he's gonna do. Then it's starting to re-show the first scenes of the Keyblade Graveyard when Terranor bodies Ventus and all that.
Right.
And Chirthi's talking over it.
Yeah.
Then it shows like then it finally gets into a fight, which is the
Terranor, right?
No, you fight.
The Dark Inferno.
Dark Inferno, who calls himself Darkness, and that's when you first actually do something.
Yeah.
And it's like 45 minutes in or something like that.
And you fight for like 5 minutes.
And
maybe.
I was like, holy shit! We were hyped the first time we watched it. So
yeah.
But that's a long period of just cutscene.
Yeah.
And Tara was sitting because we're quarantined together. Tara was sitting next to me, and I had the monitor turns, and I had headphones on, so she couldn't be spoiled by anything because she hasn't played KH3 yet. But she started playing Life is Strange because that's the kind of game she's into. And so I'm like watching the cutscene, but I'm also in the background. I see Life is Strange. I'm like, oh, what's going on in Life is Strange? So like I was like, oh, and everybody like, oh, I'm not paying attention. Oh my god. And I have to like snap back to it. But yeah, anyway, my point of that was the intro Master scene. Out of all those scenes, it literally has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Xigbar and Luke Sword is close. That literally has
It kind of fills in some gaps a
Yeah.
little bit, but also just like raises some more questions more than anything.
But we'll talk more about it. We're in the middle of the question of the week. I just wanted to mention that while we were talking about it. The Box on a Dark Road Trip says, I agree with Master of Masters Master. Scala was easily the best part, and yet they could have done so much more with it. Even simply adding a few more collectibles or lucky emblems to find, and why the fuck not? Maybe put a new boss or a new type of mob enemy that we hadn't seen before. Maybe some of the super cute Heartless that are exclusive to Union Cross. The mechanism with the phases of Daybreak Town and Scala was also great environmental storytelling from beginning to end. Still sad we can't enter any building, but hey, I guess that's what Dark Road will be about if they don't keep us in Agrabah all the time. Also, I really, really like the extended ending cutscene with Sora and Kairi finally spending some time together, even if they know
True.
it won't last, and helping other characters like Chirthi and Naminé. Legitimately cute addition that gives more weight to Sora's disappearance. Agreed. That's probably my favorite part of the storytelling of Remind.
Yeah.
Was the ending scenes redone, like, with the camera pans a little bit, and there's Kairi and Sora, and they're up to no good, you know. I really enjoyed that.
Also, I like the Wingman Chirthi scene.
Yeah, when Chirithy's like,
I was trying to give you guys some time.
yeah, I was just trying to give you guys some private time. Maybe you get naked and I can watch. What? I don't know what that was.
No, that was Chirithy coming down.
Oh, I wasn't doing that.
I know you were. I was.
There, I did. Just a Red Nocturne says, my favorite thing from Remind is the easy and pro modes. I hope these are part of future titles. Honorable mentions are the new Xehanort cutscenes with voice actor. I want more, but he's dead. The data battles and playing as Kyrie finally. I will say Christopher Lloyd.
He was good.
Christopher Lloyd. I mean, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd's pretty good.
He's pretty
I don't
good.
know if he's good as Leonard, but I certainly like the direction he's taken it more than Rutger Hauer, in my opinion.
I have to listen to it more to have a better opinion on it. A more informed opinion.
Wildcat Diana says, my favorite moment has to be the group fight between the Guardians of Light and the Xehanort replicas. The character interactions were spot on. When Ven started to talk with Roxas, I was so excited I died. I mean, I'm terrible at reading comprehension.
Hello.
When Ven started to talk with Roxas, I was so excited I died. I mean it. The Guardians died and I had to play it again. So distracted I was. So distracted I was. The secret episode is a close second, but it does not win because I don't like the fights, only the cutscenes. Or the fight, only the cutscenes. Interesting. Okay. That scene is really cool with the Guardians of Light back to back. It's basically like a QuickTime event.
Yeah.
A giant QuickTime event, but it was really cool, and the character interactions were the best part of that.
They were very needed.
Roxas and Aqua interacting, or not Roxas, I'm sorry. Axel and Aqua interacting, and she's like, just be quiet. And he's like, you don't have to say it like that.
And Axel's like, I'm in love.
Axel's like, step on me, please. And then the part when Mickey, like, they're in the middle of the battle, and, Mickey's a douche. So he's just like, and I swear to God, this is the funniest shit I ever seen. He turned himself into a pickle. And Riku's like, Mickey, come on, focus, dude.
Funniest shit he's ever seen.
Funniest shit he's ever seen. Skittles for Anna says, when Mickey has to get saved by Riku because he's a helpless damsel and then has to pretty much crawl like the rat he is to try and save everyone and act like he's a hero, when in reality everything that's happening is because of his stupid mistakes.
True.
Playing as Roxas again was good too, though.
He does rough divide, though.
Mickey, he does steal Leon's move. This is true. Yeah. I didn't watch the whole video, but I saw a video where someone hacked the game and put Mickey and Skalid Kayam just walking around, at the same pace. And just looking like completely weary and like he was gonna collapse, and it made me laugh. Riddle says, one of my favorite things in Remind is the new abilities added to Sora's combat. They felt so natural and made combat faster and tighter. It definitely made me enjoy the limit boss fights even more. Side note, finally caught up with the podcast and been wanting to answer one of these for a while. Keep up the good work. Well, we're glad you caught up, Riddle, and we're glad you could answer. Thank you.
Welcome.
And you were right. Jason, you want to maybe talk more about how Sora felt to play as Sora?
It felt good, dude. It felt good. It felt real good.
It did.
Well, and a lot of the bosses in the base game, they're giant heartless, so, like, you're not really going to block their moves. And I think it just showed off, like, how the combat is really good with, being able to block, counter, and all that.
Yeah, there weren't in the base game. There aren't a whole lot of like one-on-one kind of style.
Like humanoid bosses,
right.
Not really.
All the humanoid bosses turn into like giant heartless.
Yeah, or like have like a lot of like invulnerability stuff, like Davy Jones.
Right. Yeah, I guess Davy Jones is the real.
He's like the only humanoid boss.
Well, besides later on in the game, like Aqua. And the actual.
Besides late game, yeah.
Yeah, late game, yeah. Panda Bear, Ven Sean, actually. I just like calling him Panda Ven. Says, my favorite part of Remind is also the fight with the Guardians of Light and Xehanort copies. While playing, the interactions kept me smiling the whole time. The recognition between my two favorite characters who happened to look similar was what I was waiting for ever since they had that little glance. Jesse McCartney. Roxas, was it? You're pretty good. Jesse McCartney. Yeah, well, you're not too bad yourself. The successor reaction command between Riku and Terra was a very wholesome moment, like deadbeat dad finally spending time with his son. Terra, so you... wait, he put Terra's. Terra.
Terra.
So you gain the power to protect what you hold dear. Riku, yeah, no thanks to you, LOL. Father Terra making sure son Ven is okay. Reunited and don't want to lose each other again. Aqua telling Axel Lee to talk, not to talk, fight. Come on, Aqua. Axel is just trying to lighten the mood like he always does. Remind also gave people what they wanted, playable Kairi and a chance to explore Skyla at Kayam, which I kept saying I wish this was a real place. I was happy with Remind. I haven't finished the Limit Cut episode yet, but I will eventually. You'll get there, Panda. You'll get there. Those boys are tough. I cheated and I did one-hit mode on Critical. So we now have the Oath or the Oblivion on that file now, too.
Nice.
It was pretty satisfying to walk up to Yozora and smack him in the face one time and he dies. That was pretty
and then
sick.
you get the good ending.
Get the Crystal Regalia, get the good ending.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm going to be dead ass with you. You know who gave me the most trouble in one-hit critical mode?
Who?
Luxord. Because he's not always hittable.
Oh, no.
And so the moment one of his cards touches you, you're fucking dead. So I'm just like casting Thunder to try and get rid of the cards. And then finally I cast Thunder one time and he just fucking died. And I was like, thank God. Shion restarted me a few times too because she just comes at you so fast.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, cast Fire and to miss her. And then she'd and I'd be dead. So. Because I was so used to walking up to everything and just going, pop.
Yeah.
And then be done with him. Like fucking Master Xehanort. I just said, pop. And he was dead. My favorite... Oh, sorry. This is Sean 2.0, also known as Mickey Mouse. My favorite part of Remind is easily the expanded Sea Salt Trio sequence. They're my favorite trio in the series, so getting that part expanded upon was exciting for me. I agree. Sea Salt Trio. Best trio?
How dare you besmirch the original trio?
The original trio hasn't really been a trio for a while.
Yeah, they haven't. But it's still best
trio. It's been
trio.
Sora, Donald, Goofy, and then Riku and Mickey, and then Kairi.
She's all by herself, dude.
Kairi and Naminé.
Kairi has Naminé and Selfie.
Yeah, Selfie. Selfie's part of her trio. Oh, Lord. But yeah, the Get What's Ours. That's a jam.
That's top tier.
Top tier work from Quentin Flynn.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm again going to bring up and say it is a travesty that he is not playing Reno in the Final Fantasy VII remake. I just want to throw that out there. That's a travesty. How dare you, Square Enix? How dare you? How dare you?
Maybe they make a new character and he voices it.
It's probably going to be some like slumlord or something.
Yeah.
Tyler Rims, Eternally Griefed, says, I'm with Sean. That whole sequence was great. Team attacks, playing as Roxas again, Kairi putting up some kind of fight, the trio's catalyst of friendship. It's a good sequence. I also like the data fights besides Mr. Never Gonna Stop Going In Syax, which leads me to a suggestion I have for the next question of the week, which he didn't list here, but he put in suggestions, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Kairi's bro says, so my favorite part of Remind was the reveal that Sora and Kairi were in the ending all along. It made the ending of KH3 better for me. Still sad my boy Sora is missing, but I'm glad he got to go on a date before he vanished.
True.
That's very true. Like, that's always been my thought with Sora since Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like, you know,
let him get one moment
separated. Come on, Nomura, let the guy have one frickin' time to like talk to his girl.
Yeah, just one moment.
Just one. That's all we want. Stop cop blocking the man.
And he got it.
And he got it. He did get his moment.
He got his moment.
So, Jason, what's your answer to this? What's your favorite part of Remind?
Like story-wise,
whatever you want to say.
Is probably...
We're going to talk about it all, but tell me what your favorite was.
Well, I definitely enjoyed doing the bosses the most.
The Limit Cut episode?
Yep. It made
Even
me,
the
it was kind of like, you know, the Ratatouille cutscene. Or not cutscene, but the scene from Ratatouille where he's eating the Ratatouille and then he flashbacks to being a kid eating Ratatouille. It was like that, and it's like the first time I do the data fights.
Oh, you're talking
KH2.
about the food critic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where he does the flashback.
You're right. Okay, I get it.
And I was like, feels good.
So it was
feels good.
It was like you were brought back to the Kingdom Hearts 2 data fights.
Yeah, it felt good.
Which is better?
And this is more of just like the fighting in general. I like the reaction commands a lot, so I'm probably gonna have to go with 2, just because I think that's very fun. Like in with all the streams we were doing, watching Terra and everything, I'm like, God damn, reaction commands are fucking dope. Yeah. And then like with the Xemnas fight, like they brought reaction commands into that fight, and like that was fucking dope. Bring back reaction commands, Nomura. What the fuck?
So I agree with you that I think it is missing that. But here's what I like about it and why I think it's better than the limit fights. And that is because every person you fight in Kingdom Hearts 3 in the Limit Cut episode has like a gimmick. They have like with the exception of probably Larxene, who's pretty just more Larxene. She's samey. But everybody kind of has like a weird gimmick, and it makes every fight unique. Where I don't know if that's 100% the case in 2. There are some with gimmicks, like Marluxia has his gimmick. Yeah. And like Lexaeus kind of has a gimmick, but it's really just you still just got to fight him normal. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I would say it's a gimmick still.
Right. But they all have these gimmicks, and then at the end, little pieces of all these gimmicks go into Yozora.
Yeah.
Plus, he has more.
Right.
So, to me, I think that's really cool that it's building to something.
Yeah.
As opposed to 2, where it's just, you beat them all and you're done, you know? And I think, in my opinion, because there's more of a story element to it, and in that, it makes it better for me. That's what I
see that. I see that.
But
I still really, really, really like the boss fights in 3. In Remind.
Right. You're just saying you like 2 a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Plus, there's also nostalgia.
I don't think there's a right answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you're like...
It might change based on the day, too.
Mirage Arena and BBS is the best. If you say that, then...
you're wrong.
You are wrong. You are factually wrong. So my favorite part of Remind... I said story-wise it was the ending and how they added Kairi and Sora into it. So I'll stick with that. But if we're talking like overall, it's tough. I'm thinking of all these different things, and I'm like, yeah, this, no, this, no, this. I'm gonna say, just the whole Limit Cut episode in general. Like I really like where they're. Some people might disagree with this. I really like where they're going. A lot of people are like, oh, they're making Final Fantasy 13 verses, and that's stupid. But I actually really like where they're going with it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
And so that's got to be my favorite part, like having Riku hang out with Swole Leon and my boy Sid and Aerith and Yuffie, I guess.
Beautiful Sid.
Beautiful Sid. And then the fairy godmother comes back in, and she's like, oh, Riku, you're Riku. I know you. There's the other 2. And you're like, wait, what does the other 2 mean? And then if you beat Yozora, then maybe Luxord's sitting in the car driving him. He goes, what does he say?
You're finally awake.
No, that's not what he says. It's not Skyrim.
Trying to cross the border.
It's not Skyrim. He goes...
He says, like, magnificent, isn't it? Or something
like isn't it?
Magnificent.
Is it magnificent?
I don't know. I could
Fantastic, isn't it? Something like that. But that's Luxord. If we're being real, it's Robin Atkin Downs, the voice actor who voices Luxord. If we're being real, I know it is. Because they asked him on Twitter, and he was like, maybe. Like, he gave a non-answer. He gave a shitty non-answer. If he wasn't him, he wouldn't even know what they were fucking talking about, and would just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because it's not like, I doubt that dude plays the games. You know what I mean? He's pretty old. He's an older dude. Like, he's a boomer, all right? He's a fucking boomer, and he doesn't play the games. So for him to know what someone was talking about, unless he's that witty and just was like, I'm just gonna feign ignorance because I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
which is possible, but no.
It could also be one of those things where it's like, I did so many fucking voice lines. I don't know. It could have been me.
Right.
If I say no and it's right.
But I feel like he was given different direction on that line. He was given direction to sound kind of like Luxord, but not exactly. That's what I think. Hey, so you're supposed to sound like him, so enough to where people would think it's him, but not enough to where they know it's him. That's what I think. But
I could see that.
I could be wrong. Question of the week next week. Here's Tyler's question of the week that we're going to use for next week's question of the week. Remind seems to be the last of the content added to Kingdom Hearts 3. With that in mind, if you could add one more thing to KH3's extra content, what would it be?
Ooh.
So we will, you guys answer that next week, and we will answer it as well. Moving on, let's talk about Dark Inferno to start. Because what happens, let me just lay it back out for you in case you don't remember, Jason. Dark Inferno, Ventus gets rocked by Terranort. Ghost Sora, or time-traveling Sora, or however you want to call it, tries to step in front and grab Ventus. But he flows right through him, and then Sora ends up at Ventus's Station of Awakening, his stained glass thing.
Yeah.
And he hears a voice who says some things about Ventus, and then he says he is darkness, to which Sora responds, Vanitas? And then you fight the Dark Inferno. Dark Inferno Key, specifically, is the name of it.
Yeah. It's like a upgraded version.
But it's not. He dies in one hit, just like anything on one-hit mode.
Okay. I don't know if I take that into lore, but okay.
So, what do you think? Is this the same darkness as in Union Cross? It has to be, right? There's no way Nomura is going to come up with a character who has the same name as another character and expect us to know the difference. That was sarcasm.
I'm Ansem.
No, I'm Ansem.
No. He's Ansem.
No, I'm me. I'm me, he says. So what do you think's going on with that? And you defeat him and then you don't hear from him.
A lot of people think that like there's like a possession thing going on where it's like back in the time of fairy tales, like somebody possesses like Ven or something.
Okay.
And then that's like partially who Vanitas is.
So there's a scene, Jason, that's added to Remind with Vanitas where he mentions that he's not actually part of Ventus. He's someone that's been in Ventus for a very long time.
Like that they're not really brothers.
That they're not really brothers, yeah. So he says, and he goes, you think I'm you? Or you think I'm your brother? I've just been in you a very long time. So that seems to indicate that Ventus is the one who killed Starletzia, but with Vanitas, or whoever Vanitas is, inside him.
Which also begs the question that maybe the reason that he looks like Sora is more than just that Sora refused together Ventus's heart, fixed his heart. Maybe Sora is the bad guy and he goes back into the past.
So you're saying he's the Master of Masters?
He's the Master of Masters, but he also possesses Ven.
Interesting. It's possible. It's all possible. But what is the Dark Inferno then? What's his deal?
I don't know.
Is he like the spirit of that? Is he says, I am darkness.
Well, everyone thinks that that's Ephemer's. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people think that that's Ephemer's dark.
Because he wears
Heartless.
a scarf.
Yeah.
Prince wore a scarf. Sometimes. Do you think
it could be Princess Heartless?
it could be Chris Jericho's Heartless?
It could be Chris Jericho's.
He wears
Heartless.
a scarf.
Yeah.
There are people that wear scarves. Doesn't mean they're related. Sometimes I've been known to wear a scarf. Not as fancy as that one. Am I Ephemer? Am I? Sometimes I wear a helmet. Am I Lingering Will now?
Yeah, you could be.
I wear a helmet so I don't bump my head. So I'm Lingering Will. Lingering William. Lingering Will's my father. You can call me William.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, moving on. We then see Aqua's. Why Aqua is so filled with fear and despair. Because when she sees that heartless tornado, it's all Darkwas.
Yeah.
Which fills her with fear and despair, but it fills me with thirst.
Oh my god.
Fills me with horniness.
Oh my god.
For Aqua.
Dark Aqua.
Darkwa. I want CBT from Dark Aqua.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. CBT is not a joke. Some people really find pleasure in that. You're laughing. You're laughing at me. I'm talking about CBT and you're laughing. So then you fight Dark Aqua herself again. Literally the same exact fight from original Vanilla Cage 3.
Yeah.
Which was a little lame.
Yeah.
At least with the Dark Inferno, they implied he was different.
Yeah.
Aqua, it's like, this is the same fight that we've been fighting since 0.2.
Right.
So
right.
It's like, that was the one boss fight I was like, this is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Then you fudge, man. Then it goes back and you meet Namine in the worlds between. And this is how they explain how Lingering William showed up.
Yeah.
And he's like, go where the water meets the sky. But then he gets there in the game and she's there. And she's like, doesn't go, hey, I talked to you and you told me to come here.
Right.
So it's all kind of like time loopy and like
paradox.
Yeah.
Paradoxical.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of all that. Then you fight Terranort. You help Lingering William until you don't. And Lingering William gets crushed.
Yeah.
Our good boy, Lingering William. Well, there's some sick DBZ fighting.
Yeah,
before
yeah. We can't forget about that. That was straight.
Ah!
Just straight anime.
Just straight anime. Fucking rocks floating around people and stuff.
Just from their sheer willpower.
Just from their sheer will. From their Lingering William.
The size of their William.
And then Sora gets trapped inside the Guardian?
Yeah.
Or what do they call him now? The Exalted? What is
Exalt?
Maybe not Exalted. In the photo mode, they call him something different. He's not called Guardian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. It's something weird.
It's like the dark being or something like that. Like it's something lame and generic.
Yeah.
Not Guardian. Come Guardian.
Right. Everyone knows it's the Guardian.
Right. Everybody knows he's the submit boy. Submit! But Sora gets trapped in there. Then you play through the game's events again. And you can like control Riku. And you and Mickey have a new like team up move in that fight. And then when you get to Lingering William, I'm sorry, Terranort, and I just like saying Lingering William. When you get to Terranort and Vanitas, once you win that fight, Ghost Sora's freed again.
Yeah.
And then the Sea Salt fight is completely different.
Yeah.
That's the one they changed the most, because I think that was the one that confused people the most.
Yeah.
With, how Roxas is just able to beam out of nowhere. We still don't know why he can beam out of nowhere, but you kind of get the vibe more that Sayax was less on Xemnas' side again. Like he wanted Xion to remember things because he kept like poking her a little bit.
Yeah.
So you get the vibe that he's just like ready to give in. And that's what, like people thought Roxas, when he says, it seems like you're not as good at winning hearts as you think you are. People are like, oh, he means Vexen. But some people are saying he meant Sayax. And he knew Sayax was teamed up. I don't know if that's true or not. But what's weird about this scene to me that I wanted to talk about is the sigil.
Yeah.
There's this weird scene where their chests light up, and then Xemnas' chest lights up after they do the Get What's Ours, and then the sigil is like in front of them, like it is when, for example, Roxas gets his name the first time. It has that letter there, and then they're like, "This is what bonded us in the first place. This sigil. This is what made us who we are. This is what strengthened our friendship." And I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck? What do you mean?" I'm very confused by that segment of all the people in the organization have that sigil. You don't see Demic showing up going, "Yeah, all four of us are best friends." That's not what brought them together. It just seemed like a very strange thing. Suddenly they have to be released from Xemnas. Like that's a thing that's required. Vexen wasn't required to do that. You know, I found that very strange and like very unnecessary. I don't know why it's there.
I don't think it's more of like that. I think it's just, hey, like from the moment that Roxas and Shion existed, that was the first thing that they knew, was that like that this reclusive sigil was like important to them, right? And that like,
But was it?
I mean, not in 358, but I think like if you were to think about it like logically, like, hey, like the second that they're like a conscious being, like this is what they're given, that's something that they would probably hold on to, or at least like think about, right? And that's something that if they were to look back on it and think about it, like, hey, this is what started our path together, I could see that. I think of it as more of like a callback to that than it being like, this was the crux of it the whole time. Like,
That's what they say, though.
I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I think it's just more like, hey, this is something that started us along this path to become friends.
I think it was written poorly then, if that's the idea. Because when I watched it last night, I was like, man, they really are hammering home this recusant sigil thing. Like, and I didn't think that was the only time that has been important is in Dream Drop Distance, when you realize on Sora's chest he has an X, and that's why he's been followed by the recusant. You know, when the thing that everybody hates from DDD.
I don't know. I think it's more for the people who like for me, like I really like the scene where they give Roxas his name and shit like that. I'm like imagining like that with everybody else type thing. Where like his name is like circling around and then he.
But why is that something they have to be like released from, or you know what I mean? Because that's what the vibe. They're like, oh, we finally have defeated Xemnas ourselves, and now we've freed our. I think they use the word freed. We have freed ourselves from that.
I think that's more just like a reclaiming it,
or whatever, reclaim, freed, whatever it is. It's why do they have to reclaim it? Axel doesn't even want to be called Axel except by Kyrie. He wants to be called Lee. So why does it matter?
Well, I think he wants to be called Axel by everybody.
Well, okay, in this game he does, but in DDD he wants to be called Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Remember they switched it, and then I think they thought everybody was too confused by it, so they said, oh, we'll just pretend he wants to be called Axel.
Yeah. Well,
and obviously Roxas can't be called Sora, but Shion could be called Number I.
Shut the fuck up.
She could be called Number I. Number I. The imaginary number.
Imaginary.
That's what Zigbar says. Or he either says imaginary or he says a non-existent number. I think that's what he says.
Well, it's imaginary. Like in math, it's imaginary number.
Oh, maybe he says that. I don't know. I watched he says that in that big long cutscene.
Yeah.
Number I.
Yeah.
Who exactly are you, Luke Sword? He says Luke Sword, and that makes me angry. Because I was like, only troglodytes say Luke Sword.
And then we started it because of that.
But now apparently that is the official pronunciation of the guy's name, and that drives me nuts.
I feel like Sora says Luxord.
Because Sora's big-brained. Oh, great. I'm siding with Sora on something intelligence. Oh, no.
There's no way you could win this.
There's no way. Anyway.
I think it's more like, hey, this bad person who was like gave us this, but now instead of it being like, oh, he gave us this, so therefore like we should reject it, they're like, hey, he gave us this, but we're like reclaiming it and being like, hey, this is ours. Get what's ours.
Yeah, I get that, but I feel like that's not been a plot point before in any of their material leading up to this, so it seems weird to just suddenly go,
oh, no, most definitely.
we're reclaiming this, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? What do you mean? Reclaiming? Well, you didn't even care about this before. What do you mean?
It's because they just got their hearts, dude.
Yeah, whatever. So, the other weird thing about that scene is when...
What's up, Billiam?
Billiam the spider in the house. What up, Billiam?
What up, Billiam?
Is when... they still keep the scene where you're ready to fight Saïx again, and Axel, even after the scene where he gets lasered, it fights with you, and then suddenly Shion's like, I'll take Kyrie's place and Roxas will take yours. And he's like, yeah, you're the old hands with the Keyblade. But it's like, you were just fine, dude. You don't need to take a rest.
He like acts all hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like he got hurt, then fought again, and now he's hurt.
So he had adrenaline.
And then his Keyblade got destroyed, but then it didn't.
Yeah.
That scene is still messy.
That scene is messy.
They fixed some of it, but it's still messy.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. You could have more than 3 characters. Just have Axel fight in that fight too. Who cares? Roxas is gonna dominate whatever happens anyway.
True.
Just for the sake of making it make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, you refight the three dads, the 3 Xehanorts.
Yep.
And that goes fine. Kyrie dies. Sora realizes, I don't
have any more time.
have any more time. So then he goes into Scala. And a lot of people like this part. I thought this part was very cool. It's cool to explore Scala time. But like everybody echoed in their sentiments in the question of the week, they could have done so much more with this.
Yeah.
It felt so empty.
It was really empty.
Even when they like overwhelm you with the amount of Heartless they put on the screen, it was still like, this is so empty and weird.
There's like 3 things in the whole place.
And I get not like packing it with a bunch of like collectibles or items because
do you
they're
use them
pointless.
for?
What are you going to use them for after that?
Yeah.
I think there's like one chest that has food, and there's like an AP boost in one chest.
Yeah, there's that one chest that's in like that tower.
Yeah, that's the one that has a meal in it. And then there's like an AP boost and maybe like a mithril or something.
Yeah.
Like, and some of the puzzles are like cool. They're not puzzles, but like they're like just you hit the thing a bunch.
Yeah.
And it's cool to like have different. I thought when we first got there in our playthrough, I thought, oh great, we're just gonna have to hunt pink Heartless down to find the things. But that was only one time you had to do that, and then you fight Darkseid.
Yeah.
Darkseid. Always Darkseid.
Well, and it's like the first time you fight a Darkseid since like KH1 where like you're OP.
Yeah, because all the other times it's like the tutorial boss.
Yeah.
Bro, what they should have done, you know what they should have done?
Oh, in 0.2 they do it too.
You know what they should have done? Twilight Thorn.
Ooh.
Bring back the boy Twilight Thorn.
Yeah, but it's not the same without the reaction commands, dude.
Maybe they'd have them.
Maybe.
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 The Twilight Thorn is badass, though.
So I still don't really understand what we're doing with Kyrie. Even after watching the cutscenes and playing through it, we're collecting these pieces to make this flower to restore Kyrie.
Because she was crystallized.
But why? Or like, not why, but how? How come she gets a flower to get put back to, like it's just like,
it's just thematic. It's provocative.
It's provocative. And then you go back and then you get the cool, Guardians of Light fight where Sora gets like the last piece he needs, right? And you fight him and there's all that cool interaction. The scene was cool. But then everybody kind of falls in keyholes. Except Mickey, who gets saved by Riku and then by Sora. And then Mickey's walking the He's doing
the good fight.
He's doing the good fight. He's walking. He's deflecting stuff. He's fighting off the lazy ass clones of the vessels because they just kind of float there and then every once in a while attack.
Bing.
Even on critical, they don't really do much. You get there, Sora and you shoot the beam into it. All of us are all here together, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm still like just very unclear about what it is that's going on, because you do that and then there's all those keys and Sora has to shoot beams in all those keys, right? Or wait, is that before or after Kyrie? That's after. Okay. So then you fight Xehanort with Kyrie, if you want, right? Sora and Kyrie together.
Right.
That doesn't really make sense that you fight Goatnort there. Goatnort's busy. He's fighting real Sora in the timeline. Where did he come from?
Right, yeah, it's a little weird.
And then he summons the real moon.
Yeah.
Where'd he get the real moon from?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, his DM, he summons a bunch of meteors out of the sky, and then the real moon's there.
It's kind of a glitch.
It's a bit of a glitch, Nomura. You forgot to carve your moon into a heart. Then you do that. Oh, wait, no, that's before. I don't remember the order now, but you do the lock keyhole minigame thing.
Yeah.
And then everybody like kind of pops out of it. But like, what the fuck are you exactly doing?
I think the idea is they're trapped in the keyholes, but like, I don't.
And then he does the Kingdom Hearts 2 thing where the sky gets all
Yep.
cool, and he's like, wing, and
That was the best part of the game, actually. I changed my.
It's a cool callback, but what in the fuck is he doing? Like in TH2, when he does that, you're like, oh, he's opening a path to another world. That's what that means.
Well, maybe
There's an item that helps him open a path to another world. So because he shoots it through the flower, and that causes Kyrie to come out.
Yeah.
So is he opening is Kyrie in another world, or is she dead?
Well, she's not dead.
Or she's crystallized?
She's the backup plan. She's plan B.
For who?
For Xehanort.
So what? He crystallized her, and that causes her to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I guess.
And then she comes out of the keyhole, which has never happened before in the Kingdom Hearts games.
I don't know. I think you're looking into it too much.
No,
dude. It's
I don't
Kingdom
think anybody's
Hearts.
looking into it enough.
It's Kingdom Hearts,
I don't
my
think anybody's
guy.
looking into it enough.
It's Kingdom Hearts, my guy.
I know.
He crystallized her so that he could use the Princesses of Heart as a backup plan if all this other stuff didn't work, like they wouldn't fight him or whatever, right? So then he could just do it the OG KH1 way, right? To make the Keyblade. But, or like summon Kingdom Hearts or whatever the fuck, it fucking changes day to day, right? But she's crystallized. He's got to get the fragments of her heart because, of course, she's fragmented. She's not just like there as one big crystal. But then you bring her back because she gets crystallized and disappears. So obviously she's not there anymore.
Jason, I'm quitting Kingdom Hearts. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to my Final Fantasy X.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy X podcast, where we talk about a game that's over 20 years
The
old.
Spirospheres reports.
We talk about a 20-year-old game, and we just talk about it or something. There's no sequels. There's nothing else to talk about.
What you mean, man?
There's nothing else to talk about. Let's talk about it. No,
There better not be no machinas.
I just want to know what the fuck is happening, dude. I'm sorry that's too much to ask for a video game
It's
series.
not gonna happen.
I just want to know what's
It's
happening.
Kingdom Hearts. It's not gonna happen. You'll never ever know.
All right, we're gonna take a break.
Not
'cause
even when the next 3 games come out, you still won't know.
I have to pull myself together.
Your fragments.
And then we're gonna talk about the limit break after this,
Oh my god.
and then the secret episode, and then we're gonna do an episode of
Character files. Character files. Character files. Character files. Files of character they are.
character files.
Character files.
We'll be right back.
Fucking character files, dude.
He turned himself into a character file. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast. Woo! Feels good to be here. Jason, it is time to talk about the Limit Cut episode of Remind. See, this is an episode all about Remind.
No. I can't go there.
You can't go there?
I can't go there.
Why?
It's too spooky.
Why? You did it in one day.
No.
With the exception of Ansem, who I beat. Me. I beat him.
He stole it from me.
I stole it from him. Anyway, Limit Cut. We got the Wayfinder trio going into the fucking realm of darkness. Like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's
Terrible
not good.
idea. You can bring all the armor you want.
But we're there. Go together.
You telling me Aqua was filled with fear and despair before?
She just saw a couple Heartless, bruh.
Right. She ain't gonna do all right.
She's gonna have PTSD in there.
Dude, I hope they make like a horror game.
That would be
That's like,
too spooky.
no, dude, I'm into it. That's like the 3 of them through the realm of darkness, and it's like Resident Evil, Silent Hill style
Oh my
bullshit.
god.
I'd play that shit. Everybody would play that shit. It'd be dope.
Ben just walking around with a shotgun.
Yeah. Stay away. Like, all you have is a flashlight. All our Keyblades got stolen by Yozora. All you have is a flashlight. Anyway, so they go to the Realm of Darkness. Riku and Terra have a moment where Terra says some shit, and it's like, Terra, but what did you do anyway? Did you do anything to help Riku? He didn't even get the Keyblade you bequeathed to him.
True.
Very true. And we cut to a year later. A year later! Kyrie's been sleeping a year. The sea salt kids have been looking through Roxas's memories, I guess. What's Naminé doing? Is Naminé with them? Naminé's doing something.
I think Naminé's with them.
I think Naminé's with them. They're still in the Realm of Darkness.
It's been a year.
It's been a year. Yikes. They're probably dead. And then Riku joins up with our boys at the Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee. Swole Leon, Aerith,
Big as fuck Leon.
Yuffie, and the boy, Sid, who's a computer genius.
Hell yeah, brother.
And he sets up a video game for Riku to play to try and get back Sora's data so we know where Sora is. It makes no goddamn sense.
When he went through the data, it then created a metaphysical data humanoid
The Battalion 13.
in the liking of Sora, but at the same time then fused together and created a battalion of 13 members. For you to fight, you got to unlock their data.
Right.
Do you think Riku watches the different endings?
Yeah. He definitely watched the different endings.
He's like, fucking no, Sora, no.
So he also mentions that, or this is after you beat it, that he's been having a dream. So anyway, you beat all 13, which it's the or 14? 13. 13, because it's the new organization.
Yeah.
So you beat all them, including Shion
Yep.
and Master Xehanort.
Yep.
What's your favorite of those, by the way? I know we've talked about this before, but I want to hear it again.
I think it's. I said Vanitas last time. I think I'm gonna stick with Vanitas. That was a fun one.
Vanitas. Yeah, Vanitas is dope. My favorite's probably Shion.
Yeah. I think that's what you said last time too.
I think stylistically she's just dope.
Yeah.
She's like Roxas 2.0, you know?
I'm gonna be really scared if they like add that mechanic into the next game in more than just one fight.
The lowering the health bar?
They're like, hey, whatever your health is at, that's now your max health, bitch. And you're like,
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. So anyway, you beat all those, then you come back into the Merlin shack where he lives. And the fairy godmother shows up. And she's like, I'm looking for a boy named Riku. And he's like, oh, shit, that's me. Bitch, you're trying to fuck. And the fairy godmother's like, no, I'm not trying to fuck. I'm just here to tell you.
and then Merlin got really sad.
Yeah, Merlin wasn't there. Yen Sid and Merlin. Wait, what did they want to tell him?
That it's probably has to do with something with Riku's memory or something like that. Or his dreams.
His dreams. Because he says he has a dream that he was in Shibuya and there was this dude looking at him. He could feel a dude looking at him.
Yeah, some dude
So
was
basically, the
looking
secret
at me.
movie is his dream. And then she mentioned something about there are two others, right?
I don't remember. You played it, not me.
I don't fucking remember.
I've never
dude.
played it before.
I was just ready to bop Yozora in the head with a Keyblade. But she said something about two others, and we're trying to figure out who the two others are. And most people's guesses are like Kyrie and Roxas or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
But we don't know. So it sounds like Riku is going to be searching for Sora in the next game. Then, when you go to the secret episode, you got Sora.
Who else? Wait a second. Wait a tick. Wait a freaking ticking
Okay.
moment.
I'm ticking.
There's the idea that Riku's a Dream Eater, right? Because he's got the Dream Eater haircut.
Yep.
Kyrie has the Chirithy ears on her hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has the Chirithy qualities?
Probably Ventus.
As if.
Oh, you're saying Zigbar's the other one?
Yes.
That's true. He does have the stripes on his head. As if.
So it's
That would actually be really cool if the game was like you play, like you alternate between their 3 stories of Kairi, Riku, and Zigbar.
That'd be dope.
That would be actually pretty cool. And then like they have to team up at some point, and he's like talking shit on them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, as if I could run circles around you kids, you know, and just like.
Yep.
And then he actually shoots Kairi in the fucking head.
Oh my god. Mike looked at me and like his eyes were so wide. He's like, "Oh my god!"
He shoots her in the fucking head.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
I was gonna say,
You get what you
fucking deserve, Kyrie.
Leave my man Sora on red.
So, anyway, Sora's in what looks like the final world, but it's nighttime. And you hear the voices of Dylan Sprouse, and he's like, He goes, "You're Yozora, right?" And he goes, "How do you know? How do you know my name? I am Yozora, but this is not what I look like." Which it's like, what the fuck does that mean, dude?
Right.
Like, come on, man.
And
he's like, "You're Sora?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Sora."
He's like, "I have to save Sora."
And then he pulls his gun out and aims at him. And Sora's like, "What the fuck?" It's like, the amount of fear that Sora experiences is nothing that you've ever seen in any Kingdom Hearts game before. Right. Like, he's so terrified. And he goes, what you? And then he finally pulls his shit together and pulls out his Keyblade to fight him. But, like, he's like, "What? Why do you have that if you're going to save me?" You know, it's like he's helpless almost. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. And so you fight one of what's possibly the hardest fair boss in Kingdom Hearts history.
Yeah.
There's some BBS secret bosses that are pretty bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably harder than Lingering Will. Like, Lingering Will can wipe you pretty quick, but he has a certain pattern that's like he does the same like 3 or 4 things, right?
Well, yeah, he has like a couple different,
and he has variations
options,
on those.
yeah.
But like Yozora is so unpredictable what it does because he has so many different maneuvers. Yeah. And there are times he DMs immediately. And they're like, you fought him like 10 times, and then you went poop, and he started DMing on me the first time. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And you didn't see it for another 20 fights because he just has so much stuff he does.
Right.
So I would say it's the hardest fair boss.
Right. And the whole Koopa coin shenanigan and taking your items.
Yeah, he can take your items. He can take your Koopa coin.
That's a bit unfair.
It's a bit unfair.
I think with my items, I easily trounce him.
Maybe.
I trounce him.
But anyway, depending on if you beat Yozora or lose to him, you get a specific ending.
Which has never happened in KH.
Never happened in KH before. And if you lose to him, you get what I like to call the frozen ending, where
you let it go.
No, he freezes you, crystallizes you, if you will, and he says, "I will save you." Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I recognized the crystallization, and I was like, I've seen this before. And in Final Fantasy 13, not Versus, 13. And
with
in
lightning?
In Final Fantasy Type 0, which originally, a little backstory here. Originally, they announced Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 Versus, and Final Fantasy Type 0, or Agito, I think it was called at the time, as all part of the same project, the Nova Crystallis project or something like that. I don't remember the exact name.
Uh-huh.
So someone can correct me. And they were all being developed at the same time. 13 was being developed by the typical Final Fantasy team. Nomura's Kingdom Hearts team was developing Versus. And then I don't remember who was developing Type 0, right?
Uh-huh.
13 released, Type 0 released, and they're only like tangentially connected. Like there's a lot of crystal talk in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 15, when that released, went from Versus 13 to 15. Or 13 Versus, or I always get the order wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Versus 13.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's still some crystal stuff in 15, right? But it's not as big. In 13 and in Type 0, there's beings called Lussi and Falsi. And I'm going to get this wrong, but I know the general idea.
Please don't be triggered.
One of them...
Trigger warning.
One of them is like the god-type people. I think it's Falsi. Or it's Lussi. See, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But one of them is a god-type, and the other one are just people that have been marked with this certain, like, tattoo on their arm. And then when they have a purpose to reach by a certain amount of time. And if they don't reach that purpose, they become crystallized in the same way that Sora was crystallized. Okay? So that's really the only connection to it that I know of right now. And so in 13, at least, it's seen as, like, really bad luck to receive a purpose because they're usually things that are, like, unachievable. Like, you'd have to, And the story of 13 is, like, Lightning's sister becomes one, and she's trying to save her. Again, I'm getting this all wrong, I'm sure. But as far as Kingdom Hearts is concerned, that's what's leading people to believe this is all a bunch of 13 verses bullshit, right? Then the other part of the ending, the loser ending, is Yozora is in a car.
The fucking regalia.
The regalia from Final Fantasy 15 / and he kind of just looks out the window and he says, I've been having these, and then Sora's like, weird thoughts lately. Is any of this real or not? And then there's another line, none of this makes sense to me. Okay. If you beat Yozora says, it looks like I'm not needed. And he kind of like fades away. Like he becomes like little light dots and fades away. And then Sora's back in the final world. And he's like, okay, like whatever. And then it cuts to Yozora waking up in the car again. And a man with blonde hair who's driving the car and sounds like Luke Sword says, Isn't it fantastic? Or it's fantastic, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
You're finally awake.
And you're finally awake. It's fantastic, isn't it? He doesn't say you're finally awake. and then Yozora looks out the window, and Sora starts saying, I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Is any of this real or not? None of this makes sense to me. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Now, this especially the winter one, is shot for shot a scene from one of the early Final Fantasy 13 Versus trailers, where Noctis is riding in the back of a car. The guy in the front says something. He doesn't say the same thing. He tells him to look, I think. And then when Noctis looks outside, there's like airships in the sky, like military airships in the sky. In a trailer that if you watch, I still don't understand how that game looks like that.
And there's games today that look worse.
Oh my god, it looks so amazing. It looks way better than 15 does.
Right.
Like everything just looks real. It's insane. And they switched engines in the middle of 15, and that's why anyway. It would have took them another 20 years to make that game if it looked like that. So here we are, having recapped all that, which we've recapped before, but I wanted to recap it for the sake of this discussion. What the fuck is Nomura doing?
I don't know. I like it, though.
It is interesting.
It fills me with wonder.
It is interesting.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. And there have been talks lately, with Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out. And there have been a couple of characters. Obviously, they're all designed by Nomura. But newer characters that look like characters from Kingdom Hearts. Okay? There was one character who's a soldier, and he has hair. He looks like Demyx. He literally looks like Demyx. Okay? But he's a badass. Then there's another character who's more of a side character who looks just like Yozora, and his voice actor in Japan is the same voice actor as Yozora in Japan. So that's why people are like, oh my god. But the fact that this is getting so crazy is leading people to look at these connections and go, maybe this is what's going on. Where before, I think people would be like, oh, it's just a coincidence, whatever. You know, he just designs all the characters so they look somewhat the same. Da-da. Could Final Fantasy VII be a world in Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever's coming next?
That'd be fucking tight.
I think it'd be dope. I know people are mad about it. I've always been for, hey, let's pump the brakes on Disney a little bit because we've done most of the good Disney worlds. Let's do one where we go to different Final Fantasy worlds, dude.
Right.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Stop being cowards.
Stop being a coward. Let me find out where Demix is from. If it's Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm in. That's his somebody.
Yeah.
That guy, the soldier, and he rides a motorcycle and he has a sword. I don't know. Just a thought. The answer to the question is we have no fucking clue what Nomura is doing. But that's okay. That's okay. We want to know what you guys think about this. So go into Discord, go on YouTube comments. Let us know what you think about what exactly Nomura is doing here. We will continue to discuss this as more comes out about it.
All I know is if that new character busts out like a ukulele or some shit, it's confirmed.
It's confirmed Demix.
Yeah.
Yep, then you know.
He's just like playing something.
And we'll find out who that character is on April 10th.
That's coming up, dude.
It's coming up very fast, dude. That's like, I don't know, a couple weeks.
That's like 5 days after my birthday.
That's true. Everybody's going to wish Jason a happy 22nd birthday.
I'm just a baby.
He's just a baby.
Compared to all you boomers.
Apparently, everybody thinks Jason's the youngest man alive.
Yeah.
No one ever talks about how old I am. No one ever talks about my age. You talk about Jason.
That's not true. You were being bullied and being called a boomer.
That's true. Everybody talks
before.
about how old I am. Please stop.
2.8 was bullying your ass. Cyberbullying, in fact.
I was cyberbullied. I was definitely cyberbullied.
And then I was like, Mike, it's okay. Just look away from the screen, bro. And you're like, oh, okay. I'm good now.
I guess I could do that.
I'm good now.
All right, Jason. You know what time it is? It's time for
Character File. I'm deadass with you, mate. It's Character Files. It's some Character Files. Character Files. I'm deadass with you, brother. It's Character Files. Yeah, it's time for the Character Files.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, reading Luxord's character file is Jason. The character file is called Tumbling Dice.
Of course. Place your bets, everybody. Place your bets. How many different casino references can he make?
13.
Oh. Mike read it before. It's rigged. Do you know how to win any wager? If you go into a match knowing you'll win from the get-go, then it's not a wager. If you know you'll win, then what's the point in betting? I'm always considering the possibility of losing. That is what it truly means to be a gambler. Of course, you can attain that level of strength. Wait, when you attain that level of strength, you will never lose big. Knowing when to walk away is another important component of gambling. You cannot simply stop after one match. You must fight again and again. Only when the final play is at hand do you know the result of your bet. So you see, losing here today does not mean I've lost entirely. While one yet lives, there is always a chance of victory. And finally, the best gamblers do not gamble. They're only those who would wager their lives on a bet. They bet it all on greater rewards, risking greater losses. Perhaps it is not a game to them. I would not recommend playing against an opponent like that. Although I have managed to win against such opponents, it requires immense strategy. So I would perhaps not say that I often come out on top, particularly in recent times. You should not endeavor to turn the tables at the last second to bring about crushing defeat, but to steadily rack up smaller victories along the way. Now then, who shall I wager with today?
There were way too many gambling references to count. I tried. I only have so many fingers.
Dear God, that was a lot.
So he basically just talks about gambling strategy that whole time. He didn't really even tell us anything interesting. Just that he knows when he loses, he just has to come back.
He just has to get a bunch of smaller victories.
Right.
But he has won big before. Against who? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we don't really know that guy's deal.
He's just an addict. I think that Luxord is the player because he just keeps gambling and paying all this money on loot boxes.
All right.
He's addicted.
I'm gonna read Ienzo's.
Okay, nice.
Memories of childhood. How many memories remain from my childhood, I wonder? When I think about hearts and memories, my thoughts always wander there. My memories from when I was very young are terribly vague. Enzo, where are you? Answer me. I remember well. Even oh, that was Evan's voice I did. I thought it was gonna be Diz.
Yeah, me too.
That was me and Smith. I remember well. Evan searching for me with his slightly shrill voice. Ansem the Wise was busy, so often it was Evan who looked after me. I would get scolded for going on walks by myself all the time, but I think that came from a place of love. When it came to my studies, I would also be severely reprimanded any time I made simple mistakes in my calculations. When I have this thing, whenever I say calculations, I have to say it like the Chinese guy in Batman. Calculations. I can't stop doing it.
I love it.
I'm very good at calculations. At those times, it was Ansem who was kind to me. He would often buy me sea salt ice cream. That sweet yet salty ice cream was Ansem's favorite, so I too would end up eating it quite often. That reminds me, I have a feeling Evan would often get angry with Ansem for that. He would say Ansem was spoiling me too much. Thinking back on it, he may have just been using me as an excuse to have ice cream. Even now, the memories of my time in those radiant gardens were vividly clear. For this reason, my betrayal could never be excused, but that was a lie. Now, for the sole purpose of atonement, I live on.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of these are like, it's interesting because they're not giving you any more nuggets of lore, but just some character development, just some like what these people are thinking.
Yeah.
You know, and it's pretty cool. Like we knew that Ienzo felt bad for his betrayal of Ansem because they showed that a little bit, but to hear him talk about his memories and talk about why he feels bad and why he wants to atone for what he's done, it's pretty interesting. Luxord just said gambling a bunch. He just read the lyrics to "The Gambler" by Kenny Rogers. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to something, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. You know what that makes me think of?
What?
In The Office, they sing that for some reason.
Yeah.
And Michael Scott's like doing this like high ass harmony.
Yeah.
Like, you never count your money. He's like, singing at the table. Like, he's like trying really. It's so funny. It makes you think of that every time. So that was Character Files.
Character Files.
Character Files.
Character Files.
Character Files.
Character Files.
Character Files. Character Files.
I knew you were going to do that.
Character Files.
Character Files, precious.
No, yucky patooey.
You filthy bitch.
All right. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode
cut her now.
of the Ansem Report podcast. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, hanging out with us. Next week is episode number 60.
Wow.
Can you believe we've done this 60 plus times, dude?
Wow.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Dude, we're just fucking repping them out. Rep
Rep after rep after rep after rep.
Repping them out.
We gotta start thinking about. I mean, technically we're like a year away, but we gotta start thinking about what we're doing episode 100, man.
Dude.
It's gotta be big.
Big time, big time, big time.
Maybe it's gotta be. I don't know. Some sort of big thing. If you guys have any ideas, hit them with us. You can always reach us at answerreportpodcast@gmail.com, on our Discord server, link is in the description, on YouTube, Super Spaghetti Bros, and on Twitter, @Spaghetti Bros. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Also, leave us a review on iTunes like Jason asked for earlier. It would make him very happy for his birthday.
Yeah.
If you guys leave iTunes reviews,
Yeah.
that would make Jason very happy. Oh, also, last thing I'll plug. We are streaming almost every day on twitch.tv/Super Spaghetti Bros. Tara's been playing through Kingdom Hearts 2. That's been a lot of fun. We're playing Final Fantasy X-2, and then we're doing random streams like Final Fantasy, or sorry, that's not what I meant. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Randomizer. I might throw some Animal Crossing up there when I'm feeling like it. You know, we might get real wild. So come hang out with us, twitch.tv/Super Spaghetti Bros. Whenever you have time and you want to chill.
Drop a follow.
You know, what else are you doing? You're quarantined at home. Just come hang out with us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Also, we got a new emote, and it's Stitch.
It's fucking hype.
Box Root Force. It's amazing.
Stitch hype.
And pretty soon, if I have time to work on it, we're going to have our merch back up. Because by popular demand, people have requested that merch go
More
back up.
merch.
So we're going to try to do that too. So
Buy
look
that
out-
merch.
Look out for that shit. And thank you guys for watching. Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Fuck off.